So, MiniMax H3, we've played around with it last week and over the weekend. I've also tried character consistency, like I'm showing in this video here with some footage, and it looks pretty cool. Some motions, some ways of moving, it can handle those as well. And characters in different environments, that's also something it's capable of doing. And I've also tried the video-to-video method. Now, as you can see from these few demos I'm showing, the video-to-video here is unlike the traditional methods we used before. Those kinds of methods that fully relied on ControlNet. Here, you're going to interact more with the text prompts. It's going to involve a lot of text prompt engineering, as well as how you collaborate with the original video footage. And using ControlNet? Sometimes that's optional. And it's not just one character either. As you can see, slow motions, fast motions, TikTok dance styles, all of that you can do with MiniMax H3. And multiple characters are doable as well, and sometimes it even adds a little more extra detail based on the environments I'm prompting. So I'm going to check out some cases here. I won't go through the full workflow in detail because I've shown that before. I'm just going to show how, on each of these cases, I set up the input references. That is the most important thing we have to know. Okay, so first example. Let's use the good old TikTok dance video to video as the example, so a lot of people can easily understand this. We've got a video of TikTok dance footage, and this is an AI image of a character. I tried using transparent backgrounds on purpose because first, this proves the concept that transparent background images can be input into the MiniMax H3 model. And in some ways, I'd say this is even more accurate for character referencing. And then the second image, I'm going to use just a random background of a city street, and then I've tried with two control nets using the auxiliary preprocessors, but I found that using either one of them is good enough. I still link them both up here in case you want to use two, or I want to use both control nets in some cases. Or after resizing, if I don't want to use, let's say, the depth map, then I can bypass one of the control nets. In this case, I bypassed the depth anything v2, so only the DW processor remains, and the data from the depth map is bypassed, sending the resized video frames directly as an input. Now, all these inputs are classified differently. The reference images and reference videos belong to the reference video category, so don't mix up those inputs. And talking about text prompts, here is where the text prompts get long, like an essay. But then you can get help using a video prompter like this. I set one up last week using AI agents, so you can get into the chat and ask the AI agents to help you prompt it. It supports all the formats in MiniMax H3. And another way is to use the ComfyUI custom nodes that I just put together. Made this happen like 10 hours ago. These are going to support most of the video generation as agent skills prompts. And I've also specifically set up one for the vision analyzer. This is going to help us create text prompts for the image. Here you can use that as a reference, like captioning for the first part of your text prompts, describing what the video's object is. And later on, you can reference image 1 or image 2. In this case, it has image 1 and image 2 that you can use in the text prompts. So that's going to help you create something like this long-form essay that you'll see. Subject 1 is the character, subject 2 is the background environment, and then video 1 is going to be, of course, the video referencing and so on. All of this is enough to create the TikTok dance video already. So the custom nodes for prompting. In here, I set up two nodes in that custom nodes repo. You can search for H3 and find it. One is called the Vision Prompter, and the other is the Analyzer. This analyzer is a more straightforward approach where you pass an image in and use it for prompting. Okay, let's say I'm going to connect these two with the image above for a test case. Very easy. You can select the models based on your text encoder folder. I'd suggest not using the MiniMax H3 text encoder here because it's quite large. As you know, that is a 32 billion parameter model. If you're just using it for captioning, you can go back to the Quen 3.4b. That'll be faster and more lightweight, just does what it needs to do here. And then the vision analyzer is very straightforward. You can again select the text encoder, in this case the Quen 3VL, and also the vision model in here. You can select for detailed subject scenes. That means this will also help you create the text prompts, but you need to input your text prompt idea beforehand, which means in this input area here. So it only works with the subject identity in the vision analyzer and the scenes. The scenes are only options for image captioning. The vision prompter is going to be more tailor-made for MiniMax H3. When I have the detailed subject scenes here, and then let's say a young woman dancing, Very simple idea. I don't even write full sentences in here and just run this specific node, and it'll be based on those two input images and create a text prompt that is suitably formatted for MiniMax H3, giving me the text prompts whatever it generates. But for video to video, we don't need too much detail for the motions, how those 1 or 2 second actions are going to play out. It's only summarizing what the overall reference video looks like for those actions and how the characters are going to move. That all depends on the control net and the reference video. So coming back here, the output is generated, and as you can see, it's all formatted for MiniMax H3 text prompts. The integrated multimodal descriptions here, this is where it created some extra things for video to video, because in video to video, again, we don't need those motion mentions in here. What we need is the tag referencing based on what we got here to instruct the AI. So I'm going to use those two images first, and then go to the Vision Analyzer. This is going to give you a more in-depth image caption for each one. As you can see here, the characters and then the paragraph below. That's the second caption for image 2. So combining this together, you can play around with how you want to structure your text prompts. So let's say I'm going to use this caption here for my text prompts. For what I have here, I can switch over to, let's say, these two subjects. Okay, so the video looks like this, and we've got the backgrounds from those images. Some streets, some people walking as well. And now we have the output looking like this. The consistency of the MiniMax models is pretty good, but some detailed motions might not be fully followed. If you're running a longer video length, you'll notice some motions, even though we have ControlNet. Still, there is something that we might need to adjust, or it will change eventually. So don't expect this to totally mimic the same motions of your reference video. Like, for example, this kind of TikTok dance you can use as practice to see how the video to video works. So let's jump into another test case. This one is going to be the clothing swap. I used the footage of this character and changed the clothing. And even though the hands and all the elements are over on top of the clothes in the video footage, you can still see that it creates a pretty natural blend of how to blend in that clothing, not a copy and paste style. All the movement of the arms over on top of the clothing still looks pretty natural. Another thing I like to play around with, especially with MiniMax H3, is video editing. For example, this is like a stage at a concert performance, and I haven't used any reference images. As you can see, I bypassed all of those, just putting the video as the input. And for the video input, this time, I used the depth anything v2 as the control net. And for video reference 1, I disabled the DW pose. That means I bypassed it and input the source video as a reference. And right here you can see this is the output side by side with the reference video. The fire coming off the stage is very nice. And it's not using any segmentations or masking regions like the old ways of doing it. All I did was use text prompts because it has the context of the video and also the depth map. So in this upscaled version, as you can see, the fence below the stage and the fire coming up from the ground. It's very clear. So clean that it doesn't look like masking or segmentation, any of those techniques anymore. And looking at the right side here, the speaker on the stage, some wires still remain. And especially the boundary of the fence of the stage separating the fire, that's placed really clean and accurate. This is how you can do video editing like this. And one of the things that I like is also the character with the background. That boundary is almost gone. As you can see, the character's in the front here. Yeah, basically this doesn't feel like the segmentation style at all. Another test is video effects. I tried this footage of a city, a drone view. And again, I haven't used any reference image, just by doing the text prompts. And for this one, I even moved the camera a little bit faster by just using text prompts, pushing the drone view a little fast forward, creating like a push-in motion. And then there's some snowing going on with that as well. Here's another example of character swapping using one character. In this case, you can see some movement of this character, the hands, the body language. And I've tried it. And also here, another example where I used a character sheet of a male character. The whole video footage is someone talking, and I swapped this character in, like a podcast style. And here I bypassed the depth anything and used the DW pose to strengthen how the character's movement is. Let's try this one using 5 seconds. Of course, we also have multiple characters. In the upcoming cases I'm showing, it's 2 characters. the image of a male character and a female character. It replaces those two characters in the video footage. And the text prompts, I used AI agents to help me structure it with the reference image and reference video together, and put this in this case. So let's see this example. I'm prompting the AI agents that I have another reference video, this time with two characters, having two characters in the video footage as the reference video. Basically, I quoted the video as the reference video and swapped the male character using a specific image and the female character with another specific image. It's basically all like a point form structure, step by step, point by point, of what you want the AI to do. And it does the job, giving me the structured prompt for MiniMax. And this time, the AI agent identified this as a dual character process. So I copy and paste that text prompt here. Nothing needs to change. And then again, this is the input. Let's try this time. And there you go, we got the whole process here. And now I put it up to 9 seconds after testing. Because it's working, so I generated the whole video clip's length here. And as you can see, well, there's a little bit of add-on, like this character biting the ice cream is not exactly in the reference video, but you can see most of the motions, how those little details are changing. But most of the character's motion is there for swapping characters. Well, I think that is good, because you create your own uniqueness of the video rather than just mimicking the whole video from your reference video. You get a little bit more creativity, because in the text prompts, it does happen that the male character takes a little bite on the ice cream. And that follows the text prompts and creates some emotions, expressions on the face as well. So yeah, this is basically some test cases of MiniMax H3, and we will test out more features later. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!
This is Captain Yi, final entry. Fuel reserves are at 3%. We made it further than anyone thought possible. Whatever happens next, tell them we found something beautiful out here.